What's up, guys? Travis Turner, $1 Million Man. Just wanted to introduce my father. This is Loyd Turner. He is a man of many ideas. His knowledge is impeccable. Tell us from birth to now in about a 2-minute segment.
Born in Fort Worth, raised in Fort Worth, went to Pasco High in Fort Worth, went to Texas Tech, graduated there in 1976, lived in a Volkswagen, toured around America, saw that, came back, settled down in Lubbock, started baking bread, wanted to open a bakery, ended up buying an Italian restaurant. I've run that for 47 years and have 367 employees, and there we are. How's that?
There's lots of benefit in watching YouTube videos, wouldn't you say?
There is, and you have to filter out, what's real and what's not, and what you believe, and you can hear both sides, and you're going to be left to figure out what is the real truth between those two. But yes, it's a lot more educational to me than like the news or something.
Yeah, YouTube has tons of value, and so what I think would be valuable is we recently been talking about different types of diets, different types of strategies. You have had experience with, obviously, with food, tons of food from start of restaurant, obviously, till now, and you've tried multiple different diets to lose weight or to be healthier or to grow muscle, and now something you've researched and you're moving forward with it. I've been very impressed, and so I think a lot of people out there are probably wondering the same thing. They're trying all these diets and they're not working, and they're not getting the results that they expected with it because their body may be reacting differently to it other than they expected, and they still want to drop weight.
Let's roll it back.
Okay. Other than they expected, and they still want to drop weight.
Let's roll it back. Okay. Because one of the things I didn't put in my 1.5 minute one is I was a health food nut. They used to call them health food nuts. So I got into that in the 70s. It was kind of a thing, people studying different ways of eating and things like that. So in 1981, my wife Karen and I, with another couple, opened up the Alternative Food Company at 26 in Boston. It was a health food store. It was called the Alternative Food Company.
I remember that.
Back then, prior to that, Senator McGovern had issued the dietary guidelines in the United States. It was a very thing at the time. I thought that's fantastic because they're saying the base of the pyramid, eat a lot of carbohydrates, eat a lot of breads and grains and vegetables, very little fats and oils, very little meat. Those will kill you, but you eat all this food. The carbohydrates and that. So when we opened the Alternative Food Company, we literally had bins with grains in them. We'd put a bag under, and you'd get your rice and your beans and your wheat, and you'd put it in and weigh the bags, and because it was based on that food pyramid. And so we sold a lot of whole grain things, and that was a big deal back then.
They probably know a lot of carbs is probably not the way to go.
Well, they've heard that, and they've heard sugar, but back then that was what people eat. There was Ansel Keys. He did a study of fast, and they pegged fat and cholesterol as being the evil things. So people went to carbohydrates and low fat. The problem is they were wrong. And if you don't have to do anything but look at the obesity chart of the United States, we're a failed human experiment because we ate the exact diet that's going to make us shoot up in obesity rates. So, and it's like, now it's like, oops. So, but now the science is compelling and it's rolling back, and the doctors are too figuring out that that's not how we treat it. And so it's an interesting time to be in nutrition with that kind of communication. And YouTube is a big part of that because it gives people a platform. They aren't doctors, they're not researchers. These are people that do something to themselves because they're eating what they want to, and they're documenting their journey.
It's almost like practicing what you preach rather than just telling people what to do. Doctors obviously would tell you what they think you should do, but these people are people that are living it and breathing the results. And so they're not doctors, but their experience trumps almost anything. They're humans. Yeah, their experience trumps almost anything.
They're you. Yeah. And it's YouTube, and this is what happened to this you. And so you have to trust that person doing the video that they're telling you what's the truth, that what happened to them. And it's called anecdotal evidence. It's a in-person one. There's their experience. I like Henry David Thoreau. He says, I talked about somebody else, but I only have experience basically being me. So that's coming out, and you're finding people that have all kind of disease reversal that's just unparalleled, that they've suffered for decades taking pharmaceutical drugs and not gotten well, and then all of a sudden they change their diet radically and they get well.